Hello everyone, Pastor Kenton Perrin here. Hope all is well with you. Welcome to our Fear Not Devotional series. Today we are looking at Genesis, the 21st chapter. I'm reading from the ESV version, just so that you can follow along a little bit better. But you can follow along in any version. Genesis, the 21st chapter, I'm going to start at verse 15. The Bible says this: when the water in the skin was gone, she put the child under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down opposite him a good way off, about the distance of a bow shot. For she said, "Let me not look on the death of the child." And as she sat opposite him, she lifted up her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the boy. And the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What troubles you? What troubles you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the boy where he is. Up, lift up the boy, and hold him fast with your hand, for I will make him into a great nation." Here we have another story, another situation coming out of the life of Abraham. Abraham was promised by God that he would have many descendants, and it would begin by him and his wife, Sarah, having a son. Now, Abraham was in his advanced age, or advanced in years, and so was Sarah, and they didn't believe that God would be able to work this thing out. Well, God worked it out. After making that promise to them, Isaac is now on the scene. However, Abraham and Hagar, or rather Abraham and Sarah, decided that they were going to try and have a child outside of what God said, or outside of how God said it would be done. Ishmael came on the scene, and Isaac is now on the scene. Needless to say, the dynamics between the two families now got a little bit challenging, where the boys were fighting with each other, the mothers were fighting with each other, and now Abraham is caught between. He had to make a decision, and the decision that Abraham made wasn't an easy one, but for the sake of peace, he decided to send Hagar and Ishmael away. She was given minimal amount of provisions in order to take her journey, to go wherever she pleased. The Bible tells us that she was wandering in the wilderness and she ran out of water. Of course, she has this little baby, and while she was there wandering and she ran out of water, the child was crying. So she put the child under a bush, expecting or thinking that the child would die. And outside of some sort of intervention, the child would have died, right? Died of thirst or whatever the case is. So Hagar started to cry. And when she was crying, the Bible tells us that God came to her and said, "Hagar, why are you crying? And I heard the voice of your son, Ishmael." God opened up a door and things worked out well. God said, "Fear not," to Hagar, because he wants her to know that regardless of what you're dealing with, I've already made provisions for you. She didn't know how God was going to work it out. She didn't even know that God was going to step in and deal with her situation. She just thought that she was all alone, but God said, "No, you're not alone. One, I'm here, and two, I've made a way for you." When you read on in the latter verses, the Bible tells us that when she lifted her eyes, God was able to show her that she had water, and she was able to satiate herself and provide water also for her son, Ishmael. We face all types of challenges, even within our families, whether it's with our spouses or whether it's with our children or the extended family, all types of things. And we sometimes take drastic measures or do things in order to rectify the situation. And sometimes we make it more complicated, right? But even when we do these things, the Bible tells us that God comes in and he will make a way. So that's my encouragement to you today, right? Trust God and believe that he can make a way. He will provide water if you need it, like in the case of Abraham. He'll provide food. If there's a door that needs to be opened, he will open that door. Whatever the situation is, whatever the challenge is that you're facing, know for sure that God is able to handle it. He will deal with it in a timely manner, and all you have to do is trust him and fear not. Thank you for listening. I encourage you to read the word, read the story, take the time to go through it and glean some more things from it, and continue to hold on to the Lord. Remember this, only what you do for Christ will last.